Hi, this is just saying. Howdy there. Wow, things are happening okay. Everything's moving. Chicago ain't shit though. It isn't. The thing is, whatever they say, I don't listen to them. Because their stuff, being black, is not the same being black I'm talking about. Because if the person is wrong, they support them. And that's what they've done with this Obama. And I haven't agreed with anybody from Chicago, just to let them know, holla. That's probably why they so messed up. I know another lady that's on the gun committee. She is a mess about color. She's the one that brought up the fact people were using creams in Africa to lighten their skin. She had to bring that up because she's light-skinned and her daughter's light-skinned. So she had to make a point that little black girl on the Academy Award was not as cute as the white girls. Now she's on the board of the gun committee in Chicago. Don't tell me about Chicago. I know Chicago. And to me, just what I told you, a lot of their problems, and they say we're we're political. Yeah, they are. They're political sometimes, and majority of the time in the wrong ways. A lot of those people were taking money. Jesse Jackson, he was stealing money. They were all, taking money and stuff. So they were doing a whole lot of stuff politically within their own city, Chicago, and now got screwed up. And they're going to hang on to that Obama, which hasn't done nothing about the problem, not even mentioned it in a more proper way. This is what Chicago is. This is where all the problems. And right next door to it is my hometown, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I can tell you, there were blacks there that hate black people. They're light-skinned. They were the light-skinned blacks. And that's back when I was a young girl. One lady told me and my brother, go on back home where we came from. Go on back to where we came from. My grandmother went up there and checked her. I tell you, that's the first time I ever saw my grandmother that mad. But those are the type of blacks we were living around when they moved over there on Capitol. They were loving. They were ashamed of certain things. And you don't do that. That kind of whispering and tiptoeing that the people are doing around Obama. The same thing. I was raised around that. So I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. And all of those light-skinned people are in some office in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They were. And they're the ones that started all that trouble in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It wasn't Scott Walker. They allowed the Scott Walker to come in. But all those... And most of them were light-skinned. I'm sorry. There were hardly any dark-skinned people in political office or in anything. They were all light-skinned. Don't tell me. That judge, she just passed away. I forgot her name. She was. Now, my cousin was kind of dark a little bit, and he was no good. He was an attorney, too. But most of them, they're no good within the community, and then now the community is all screwed up because of the racists that came in. No, the racists have been in there, and they were using all the rest of those niggas back in my time as pawns like they're using Obama. In other words, crap was made and bedded by some black people. And then made it harder for the Panthers and jealous, probably because they were organized. Because I used to do the breakfasts across the street on 6th Street in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hooks, Mr. Hooks. I know what I'm talking about. So if we don't be careful, we're the ones that are starting the crap. Because it's the blacks that think they're better than the lower blacks that don't have any money and struggling through all of this stuff that the society is putting on them and forcing them to live. Those blacks are the ones that started all the shit. I don't know how that Obama is going to live with himself afterwards. Would he get crazy? Or what? Because I couldn't live with myself, knowing all the things that black people are going through right now. It would not. There's not one little white face that could come in front of my face and say, "Go on, say this. You know you shouldn't do that." You know, and not one could come up in my face without me setting it right. It might be on the floor. A real quick slap. You know, a little story that I want to tell real quick before this goes off is a story that was told to me by Teju Bala Olaboni. He is my heart till this day. I hope he gets to see this video. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. But he told me a story of two kids. And in this little skit, I want to give them names. The black boy's name is Franky. Franky, Franky's coming to play. Then you got Sammy. He's the little white boy. Sammy, Sammy, Sammy gonna play with Franky. They're such good friends, really good friends. Friends, 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 really good friends. Then all of a sudden, Sammy sees this sparkle in Franky's yard. And it is a diamond. It's something big and sparkly. And Sammy says, "What's that?" And he says, "Oh, those are just the diamonds that my daddy brought home from Africa. And he puts them in the backyard, and I play with them sometime. Do you want to play?" "Yes, show me your big diamond." So he goes, he shows him the big diamond, and he takes it. And he says, "Don't take that, that's my dad's diamond." He says, "It's mine now." He says, "You're my friend, though." He says, "You bet I'm your friend, but if I've got to kill you, I will." Isn't that a good story for the children? If I gotta kill you, I will. And you know what I learned from that story? And he was telling me, because he had been a college professor, and for teaching the truth, he lost his job, of course. And that's what most of us, they really didn't want it back in his time. Black people knowing who the hell they are. Oh God, we don't need that. You know, but that story is about the nature of black people. They're usually very spiritual people, very loving. And when we love, it's real deep, you know. And we could sit up and just be thinking about music. It just, and then hold each other's hands. And the spirit gets in the circle. And then the fire comes up. And we're just spiritual. We're just spiritual. And a white boy, and a white kid, a white boss, a white in one of these marches, killing people. White people. That story is telling you that the nature, what motivates them, and the nature of a white person, they will kill you. Now you could be nice, listen to them. Oh, they're really great. Oh my God, they said they love my children. They gave my children some dresses. Or they really helped me in buying my house. And they really, really did. And they're really good. And white people are really good. And it's okay. It's okay, Tay Diggs, not to tell your kid that your kid is mixed. Thank you for starting a new trend. Because that ain't never going to happen. That is not going to happen. He is black. And his mama's white. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. There's something wrong with it to you. But now that you mentioned it, he will have a problem. Because people ain't going to forget it. So the mix is who they want to be. If they want to be white, then be white. If you want to be black, then be black. Be who you want to be. Do 250 videos and people will believe you. That story is about the nature. And when you know the nature of anything, you can deal with it. Thank you, Teju. I never forgot it, and I do use it in my life. And the judgments that I have made about Obama. He's a pawn, everybody. He's not real. That wasn't real. And he won't be back to Chicago. Don't you think that man is going to move back in Chicago. They're going to move him in another country somewhere and give him some protection, because there's blacks like me that know that that was some sissy crap you did. And what it did is, it did put us behind. You let them know that it's okay, we can screw them. You're not a nice president. And guess what? It's time to go. Now I'm going to go back into... Wait, let me find it. The closet. That's the closet. I'm going in, and I'm not coming out, because I don't want to live like you. I don't want to be like you, and I don't want all of that mess going into my head. So I'm going to keep my thoughts. And Black Lives Matter. Those are my mentors. Black Lives Matter is the bomb, because they're intelligent. I do surveillance cameras, actually. If you come in my place stealing, you're going to get caught. And I'm just like that. So if I could be a member of it, it would be to catch some of the people in the audience that are Ku Klux Klan. And I know the Blue-Eyed Devil. I know that Blue-Eyed Devil. Don't you think? I know how, because they can't look at me. And then we'll just pick them out and do what we want to them. I could do that there. I'm trying to find my place. Mine is mostly very sneaky. In places where we didn't stand before. Which is why some of the things we lost our lives. I can help. I'm trained. I'm the worst nightmare. I am their worst nightmare. A nigga that ain't in love with Jesus. Okay? I ain't afraid of you. I got sense and I'm smart. I'm your worst nightmare. Because it's almost time now. It's almost time. You got to pay for what you did to people. All people. There's one group of people that has always hurt other people just for that diamond that was in Franky's yard. That's what they wanted. They want the diamond. They want your resources in your countries and take them and then make you pay to come to their country to live. That's really tripped out, messed up. You gotta pay, kiss their ass, all of this crap, and they took your shit. That just don't make sense. So, shoot, even if it's pot, they said most of that pot's coming from Mexico. Then then they should just come into the country all for free. You done took all the pot, and now you want to, that's just not right, and smoking it. Okay, they smoking it, eating it, whatever. Trying to set up some money, trying to get some resources coming in. That's a resource. That's a resource everybody's familiar with. You know, there's other rubber resources. They've been stealing and taking from other countries like crazy. Hurting other people. Not only that, killing their children and destroying their homes. I'm out of here. I can't stay on here another half hour. Talk to you soon. Remember that story, Franky and Sammy. It's true. It's the character of the person, always. And when you cannot judge that and you want to be a god or a king, you can't, because you don't have the wisdom to. When you know the character and know how to judge character, then you are a king.